Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Giants, Nephilim, giants, Bible, history, all things giants. I was watching this the other day, which wasn't connected to giants in any way, shape, or form. Looking at interesting old maps for 10 minutes was the video by Geography Geek, and well, it mentions giants in the old maps, is why I thought I'd mention it. So here we just see the feed of one here. This is all South America and Patagonia. I'll just play a bit of the video and just listen to the guy, Geography Geek, 362,000 subscribers, looking at interesting old maps for 10 minutes. He's got more of these, and again, very interesting was Tartaria on old maps. And the answer is probably yes, to be honest. I have seen maps with Tartaria mentioned on it, old maps. So there's maybe something in that as well, that this whole Tartaria thing. And possibly that they built the Great Wall of China, and it was actually to keep Chinese people out of Tartaria, is the theory. And there's a lot of backing to it because it seems to have been built to keep things in China and not the other way around in certain sections. So there's something in the Tartaria thing, but I don't know what. It kind of used to be where Russia is, I believe. Is kind of the theory. I think there's maybe something in that. And again, this channel Geography Geek covering it again. So he's kind of into the same things as well, it would seem. And then good. I like looking at the old maps as well, and there's maybe a bit more truth in the old maps than there is in the new maps. Maybe not in terms of the actual geography and the size of the countries and the shapes of the countries, possibly, but in terms of what's written on the maps, possibly. I find it very interesting, well, all the sea monsters that are always depicted in here, and a lot of people say they put them in there just to fill up the space, but did they? Were them sea creatures, them beasts, them monsters, did they exist, and have they just been murdered and killed at this point, or died out? But there's always a lot of sea monsters drawn on the maps, and tales of monsters in the sea and in history and in mythology and all this kind of thing. So very interesting to me, all this. Anyway, I'll play a bit of the video.
Ferdinand Magellan named this land after the many fires lit up by the local population when he sailed through the strait that would come to bear his name in 1520. But on this map, it's clear that it's supposed to belong to Terra Australis, a non-existent southern landmass. The Terra Australis theory already existed for nearly 2,000 years, and some believed Magellan's sightings of Terra del Fuego confirmed its existence. There is also what appears to be a native standing in southern South America. This is likely supposed to depict a giant, considering this image is similar to other maps of the period where the man being a giant is clear. This again goes back to Ferdinand Magellan's voyage. One man on the voyage wrote, "One day we saw a naked man of giant structure on the shore of the port, dancing, singing, and throwing dust on his head. When the giant was in the captain general's and our presence, he marveled greatly, and made signs with one finger raised upwards, believing that we had come from the sky. He was so tall that we reached only his waist." Other expeditions later reported similar sightings, and so the idea that giants lived in Patagonia lasted over 250 years. Our next map is a 1651 map of the Virginia.
So, yeah, that was just, again, he's not really talking about giants specifically, he's just looking at old maps. But on the old map, there is giants, and then he tells the tale of some explorer that bumped into giants in Patagonia, and the giants have been in Patagonia for a long time, and whether they're still there or they've all died out now and we've killed them off like we killed off everything else. That's a very strong possibility that just the giants did it says in the Bible in Genesis they were in the flood before the flood, but they were on the earth after the flood as well, just not in the same numbers, and ultimately they will have been hunted to extinction by man eventually. That's what mankind will have done. So yeah, and it's very interesting, to be honest. Old maps mentioning giants and all the talk of the Nephilim and the Bible, and then Goliath, another giant. So I just found it very interesting, to be honest. And again, thought I'd give the channel a mention, Geography Geek, if you like old maps. Again, this video is 10 minutes long and plenty of old maps. And he kind of does go into sea monsters in it as well, and talks about a bit about the sea monsters. And we've got one here about Tartaria, my favourite lies and myths and errors on old maps. So there again, telling you what's true and false on old maps as well, possibly. So just very interesting, to be honest. I just thought I'd give it a mention, and just that he was mentioning giants on these old maps. So I'll leave it there. Peace.